I'm 19 Keys, and this is High Level Conversation. Tap in with the guys. Peace, family. Welcome back to another High Level Conversation. Today we have a powerful presentation, a very powerful energy, spirit, man, guide, scholar, polymath, intellectual, executive, actor, producer, author, you understand me, TV host, academia, a man really whom those who have seen needs no introduction. You understand me? A very extraterrestrial intellect. You understand me? A person that can dive in multi-dimensional areas. You understand me? And a person that I don't have to hold back with whatsoever. You understand me? This is a man who has, secured funding to build underground cities in Georgia. You understand me? A person who is a 2-time best-selling author. You understand me? Of Woke Doesn't Mean Broke, and of the Emerald Tablets, and also the founder of Forbidden Knowledge. You may have seen him on the Travel Channel. You may have seen him on the History Channel. You understand me? You may have seen him in another dimension when you just happen to be popping some shrooms or something and traveling through somewhere, and Billy Carson was right there floating next to you, giving you some guide. You understand me? This is a powerful brother. Not only is he found things here on Earth, but he's actually found things out in space. You understand me? And we're gonna dive deep into exactly what that means. So today, I want to introduce you to none other than the most powerful, prolific brother known as Mr. Billy Carson.
Hey, thank you, man. Appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely.
Thank you for the great introduction.
Absolutely, man. I make sure I have very intelligent people, you understand me, who require a great introduction, you understand me. For those, of course, like I said, who know you, you don't require any introduction. You understand me? You are a man, a great platform, you understand me, that stands on his own merit based on the knowledge that you possess, research, investigate, and deliver to the masses.
Thanks, man.
Today, man, I want to have a roundabout conversation about a multitude of different subjects. Here at High Level Conversations, I like to have an actual cipher, you understand me, where we build and we collide and create new universes, you understand me, a university of thoughts. Mm-hmm. And first thing I wanted to talk about was time itself.
Yeah.
And the ideas of time. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people that's trapped into increments of time that they have to work in, you understand me, from a 9-to-5 position, and they have to live within windows of hours and dissect their days based on that. Yeah. You understand me? And the unfortunate reality of it is that most people will never have a true understanding of life because they're living on borrowed time. Yeah. You understand me? And so I'm always working to help present perspective and observation on where people can understand the laws of time a little more. You understand me? Yeah, yeah. Especially as we enter into 4th and 5th dimensional phases here, you understand me, on this planet Earth. You understand me? Or the universe, as we will. Human beings, we very interesting, beings. Yeah. You understand me? Like, just the idea that we allow someone else to decide what time is for us is a very interesting thing. Yeah. Right? From Julius Caesar to the Roman Pope with his papal bulls deciding, what is a 365 calendar, what is talking about 7-day weeks and 60 seconds and 60 minutes. And we say, okay, let's go along with it. Yeah. And we don't realize that it speeds up, you understand me, the process from being born to when you leave this place. Yeah. And then we already have expectations on what life is going to be because there's other people that tell us what it is, when we're going to die, when we get old, when we're going to feel a certain way. So it sets up a curation for us to die a certain way and at a certain speed. I want to hear what your interpretation of what time is first.
Yeah, well, this is a very deep question. I've talked about this so many times in different lectures and workshops, because what people in the third dimension, we're in the third dimension, what we tend to not understand is that time really doesn't exist. Clocks exist. That time really doesn't exist. Clocks exist. We've been given this functional arrow of time, which puts us in one specific direction so that we can organize our thoughts and our days and our years and weeks and what we're going to do and where we're going to meet up with somebody and everything else. So we have this ability to coordinate and collaborate with each other, like how we're here today at this specific time. However, if you understand that time is also an illusion, it's something that you can use as a tool, but if you also understand that it's an illusion, then you can actually master time, and you can maximize what you're doing on this planet. Because if you go any high, in all the higher dimensions, you know, we're in the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and all the way up.
For the layman that don't understand what being in the third dimension means, can you give us a breakdown?
Okay, sure. So if you draw a line on a piece of paper, that's the first dimension. If you then connect those lines and create a house on a piece of paper, that's a two-dimensional structure, or you can move that into a computer. Anything you see in a computer that looks 3D is actually 2D. Right? So, and because we're in the third, we can see down into 2D, we can see all the way down, obviously, into 1D, and we can manipulate those dimensions from our higher selves. Now, now there are beings in fourth, fifth, and sixth dimensions, just people above us. Now, because of that, there are beings in fourth, fifth, and sixth dimensions, just people above us. Now, because of that, they see and they recognize the past, present, and future operating all at the same time. Everything's happening at once.
Right.
There is no separation between the past, present, and the future. The arrow doesn't exist. Because they're higher than us, they can look down into the third, and they can see into what we're doing. So
who are before? Hey, we got to unpack a little bit. We got to unpack.
Okay.
It's high level, but I want to make sure that the people can follow along with it. So, you know, talking about third dimension, right? You know, it's say ants are not third dimensional beings, right? Because they can't see upward, right? They're not horizontal. You understand me? They exist on a plane where they're looking forward, right? So when you're moving about the rest of the world that is higher up to them, they have no access to that, no perspective on that whatsoever. You understand me? For them, everything is straight and in front of them. For human beings, we have the ability to look upward, to look inward, to look outward, to look around, right? So therefore, we're connected into different angles, different perspectives, and different dimensions. You understand me? And then what I wanted to get though with next though, so let's say we got the third dimension, right? Now we're talking about the fourth dimension, right? What is the fourth dimension?
The fourth dimension is something called a tesseract. And if you go into the ancient text, it's Metatron's cube. Meta, M-E-T-A, meta. Obviously, you know, the metaverse, right? They got that from Metatron's cube. It's a fourth dimensional substructure. Now, this fourth dimension is really something called a quasi-crystal. And this quasi-crystal in the fourth dimension, it casts a shadow. And the shadow that it casts, it creates the realm that we're living in here. We're living in a shadow of a higher dimension. That shadow creates a third dimension. It actually creates a fractal of it, creates this fractal holographic matrix that we're actually maneuvering in the third dimension right now.
So would the fourth dimension be considered a dimension of time?
You can address a fourth dimension of time like Albert Einstein was saying if you're just looking at a third plus a fourth being the arrow. But when you actually move up into another dimension, we now know in quantum physics that there is actually a fourth dimension. So all dimensions are in 90-degree angles of each other. And according to quantum theory right now, we're really anticipating that there's at least 11 dimensions, or otherwise the universe would collapse. So there really is truly a fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, all the way up, not just the arrow of time. That's just something extra. They try to make it make sense back then by saying the fourth dimension is time, but time is actually not a dimension at all.